Yes, okay. I saw it. I saw the announcement. Destiny 2 is ending live service on June 9th. And I just have to say, I told you so. But in all seriousness, let's talk about it a little bit. First, I gotta give props to Destiny 2, or Bungie, the team behind the game, whatever, because they are doing a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing, but they're bringing like Pantheon and Age of Triumph and stuff. I went back and forth a while on if I should script something, but I'm just going to kind of talk off the cuff. They're doing new aspects, which is cool, new Hunter melees, new grenades, all kinds of stuff. Like I said, you can read it. Notably, no new stasis supers, so that's too bad. Also, somewhere down here, yeah, the Eververse part. They're making Bright Dust like way easier to attain. They're giving those engrams that will give you stuff that you don't have, like no duplicates. So that's really good change. Like overall, pretty good changes. Sparrow Racing League. I was never a giant person that wanted this back, but I know it was a big thing in the community. So that's back. They're also changing how you can buy it, which is good. We've been saying for years it's too fragmented. Singular purchase available June 9th, and everything's marked down. So I never bought the Edge of Fate, and I still probably won't. So this is one thing I have a question about, is this Age of Triumph stuff and Pantheon. I wonder what the light level is, because my light level is like literally 0, because I just didn't play post Edge of Fate. Uh, so hopefully with the changes to the game, they kind of do away with light leveling, because that was always a big, especially I've been railing against it ever since deltas came into it. Cause it's like, what's the point of being 1580 and you're capped 40 under light? So light doesn't mean anything. So I do wonder like how that works with a lot of this stuff that they're talking about, if you still have to grind light level. Not that it's horrible, but it's like I may jump in with my old raid group and do some of this stuff. Probably June 16th, because you know I hate time gating and they're kind of rolling it out. But yeah, anyways, I just wonder that. I also didn't see any mention of more vault space, but they're updating like all the dungeons and things to have like the new tier 5 armor system, like, you know, the new tier 5 rewards and all that. So yeah, one reason it was so easy for me to walk away was the vault space. But anyways, let's see what some reaction is on Twitter. Full steam on D3 at the request of Sony feels very likely here. IMO, this shift was needed and a good thing. I agree, it's needed, but I don't think a Destiny 3 is coming. I think we're more likely to see Bungie dissolved before the end of 2026. Also, in one of my last Destiny videos, I said the next time I'll talk about Destiny is when the game's shutting down. So it honestly happened a little sooner than I think, or than I thought, but still. I see two paths forward for Bungie, D3 or fully consumed by Sony. Sony wants their money and D3 is the only viable route to it. I'm not wrong, it's not copium, it's business. I would totally agree with that, to be honest with you. On that note about it's just business, like Mactix here says, genuinely in disbelief. I never imagined the day would come so soon that Destiny would be gone. I mean, I did. Like I said, it was a little sooner than I probably joked about in that video where I said the next time I'll talk about it is when the game is dead or whatever, put on maintenance mode. To anyone who feels absolutely gutted right now, I'm right there with you. Totally get that. I'm kind of lucky in the sense that I kind of went through my grieving over a year ago. It was really that video I made that kind of popped off that said how Bungie destroyed Destiny or killed Destiny. Because, yeah, it kind of just opened my eyes to why the game wasn't feeling the same to me. And, yeah, then I kind of came to terms with it and stepped away in like March of 2025. So, yeah, I've been able to reckon with that. Plus, I've been playing tons of other games. I literally had just finished voice recording my script for my Bloodborne review, and my Discord and everything was popping off. And yeah, anyways, then I looked into the news, and now I'm making this video because people yeah, I don't know. Just thought I'd weigh in. So I just said, I'm sure a lot of people feel this way. It's just surprising to me. The writing's been on the wall for a long time now. Choosing to ignore the signs doesn't change reality. And then, yeah, also so soon. The game came out in 2017. Like, it was never going to last forever, and all good things come to an end. That is just a reality of life. Sure, you have World of Warcrafts and, like, some of these seemingly perpetual, ongoing, forever games, but even those there will come a time when they stop updating those. They'll last longer than Destiny, obviously. WoW came out before it, and it's still going. But it's just a fact of life. And we know how expensive and like the burn rate on Destiny and stuff is for these live service games. So that's kind of what I just said here. The writing's been on the wall. We saw Katarina go. We saw Joe Blackburn go. We saw all these like forward-facing devs leave the studio just before the launch of Final Shape. We had the layoffs in October of 23, and then we had the layoffs August of 24, which was post Final Shape. So again, that was between those two, I believe it was 25% of their studio. So you lose 25% of your studio, and then they also go all hands on deck with Marathon. So yeah, people can cope and say all they want that Marathon doesn't pull development from Destiny, but just because you don't want to believe it doesn't make it true. The amount of content that you got post Final Shape was worse and less quantity, so lower quality and lower quantity. And I know people can say heresy, blah blah blah, but you look at the quarterly seasons we used to get, some of those were really damn good. I'll say heresy was better than like Season of the Plunder, but if you look at the best season versus the best episode, the best seasons went out, right? And we got them more often, and more updates, and more twids, or maybe not more twids, but more substantive twids. I haven't checked in on like Bungie news since Edge of Fate dropped, but I see on Twitter all the time people like, oh, is this the week we get info? Like, it's a meme. The one time there was a patch update and there was one patch note. Like, the reality is the game is just not getting supported like it used to. So, and even with Marathon, like, the numbers are bad. This is just reality. You can't run from reality. Just because you don't like it doesn't make those things not true. So, or it doesn't make them not true. Because that, again, it's just the reality. So like I said, the signs were there. I half expected it. I kept saying June. Like, June we're going to know more. And I was more just referencing like Bungie and Sony because all the stocks divesting and all that stuff. But yeah, it turns out May 21st. Happy spring. Yeah, here we are. June 9th will be the last Destiny update. Sorry, I'm kind of just rambling. Paul Tassi said, overall view, Destiny 2 probably should have ended with the Final Shape, with Destiny 3 already incubating. Fully agree. A huge problem I had with Edge of Fate was the portal system. And that's another thing. I wish in this update they kind of talk about the future. I wish they could just revert it. Or I wish we could just do like different branches of past sandbox updates. So you could play like the Witch Queen, where before we had the 3.0, like we got Void 3.0, but the other ones didn't come till later. So maybe you could play just before Witch Queen, where it was still like the 2.0 stuff and the old mod system. I know that's impossible. Hell, we're not even getting the old raid backs, like Scourge of the Past. Maybe you'll have some stuff in their Pantheon, but Scourge of the Past, Spire, Stars, if you didn't play those raids back then, you cannot play them now, and I think that's really, really sad. So I would have liked to see the whole game come unvaulted, personally, because like I said, it might be fun to just jump in with the boys, play those old raids, but it is what it is. But yeah, basically it should have ended with Final Shape, and then just have Destiny 3 incubating. They told their Light and Darkness Saga story, but with Edge of Fate and the Portal, they wanted to basically bleed blood from a stone, just keep your diehard player base on a treadmill. And I said as much. Everything was just retention bait and time gating and just stuff to keep you playing minimal content, minimum viable product for max amount of player retention. And I got a lot of hate for that. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Everyone freaking hates whatchamacallit, where is it? Edge of Fate, Forcer. So we're all officially in agreement that this is the worst DLC in the series now, right? I mean, you have to be. There's no way around it. And I do find it ironic that Renegades is their last big update, because that's a tie over with Star Wars, which is another space themed IP that is absolutely fledgling right now. Like, just barely struggling to survive, doesn't have the hype that it used to. And that's sort of how Destiny 2 is, right? Like, it's just going out with a whimper instead of a bang, which the final shape could have been that bang. And instead it was Renegades and then just a bunch of delayed content with Shadow and Order. But yeah, we'll get to another point in a second here. Forcer says, I'm fine with D2 ending. We all knew this would happen eventually. True. I'm fucking pissed they're ending support with huge chunks of the game in the DCB. I agree. I think that sucks. I really think it's shitty. We'll never be able to experience the... oh my god. The place in Forsaken, the Frontier place. I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. I actually love that zone. Love the lost sectors there. But anyways, it does suck that you can't go back and play a Scourge of the Past in some of these old raids. Yeah, they're just lost to time, which is too bad. So True Vanguard replied, hard fact on the last one, Destiny PvP died so that Marathon could live. And don't get me wrong, I legit think Marathon is an incredibly good extraction shooter, but it's not Destiny PvP, which hit a much broader audience. Yeah, old school Destiny PvP was awesome. I was a huge PvP player until into Shadowkeep, and that's when I started going more PvE. But yeah, through Forsaken, I actually preferred PvP. And then he's saying, not saying it's impossible, but if there was ever a time to announce a D3, even years away, it was now. I totally agree. If you're saying Destiny 2 is going on life support, think of the hype that there would be for a D3. But I honestly believe that's because in June, there's going to be some type of shakeup between Bungie and Sony. I don't know exactly what, but yeah. And even DMG, like, he gets ragged on so much on Twitter and all these places. And people wanted answers. I think within the studio, they don't even know what their future holds. And I mean, that happens, right? So they can't give you info that they don't even know themselves. Greppo said, very bittersweet to see this. It is, it's totally bittersweet. And I don't want this to be a totally negative video. I'll get to one of my tweets in a second here, but I wasn't expecting it this early, and I imagined we would get another raid. But on the other end, excited to see what the future holds. Totally, like, everyone would have kept wanting Halo games from Bungie, and we never would have got Destiny if you just listened to the community. So who knows, maybe, I don't think modern Bungie can deliver good games anymore. I just believe that in my heart. And I mean, listen, I have like 5,000 plus hours on Destiny 2. I've seen how their quality is degraded in the game. So I have a pretty good leg to stand on there, saying they're not the same studio that they used to be. They're Bungie in name only. They're not the same studio. But regardless, maybe they do make something good in the future. But basically, they're just saying, are they done with Destiny Universe or just Destiny 2? And then Scarrow, I'm so sad to see Destiny 2 go, but IMO, this very heavily implies that Destiny 3, or whatever the next chapter is in development. I mean, jury's out. I could totally be wrong, but I don't think it is, just based on the fact of what I said. They have less people. Marathon's their new baby. There's a whole shakeup. Maybe Sony gives them support studios like Activision used to, and they do come out with a D3, but it's going to be totally Sony's call at this point, I believe. And Bungie doesn't really hold the keys to the car anymore. And then he's just saying heavily implies that they're working on a D3. Who knows? Even if they are, you're looking past 2030. So you're not going to be getting any new Destiny content anytime soon. And again, this is just the reality of it. You lost 25% of your studio between 23 and 24 while developing Marathon, while keeping Destiny 2 afloat. So at what point would they have been developing Destiny 3 during that time? I don't really see a point where they would have been. Maybe like a small subsect of their studio working on like concepts, but not full development. And we know game dev is just getting longer and more costly by the year. And I just said, a true lightning in a bottle game, an industry trendsetter and a titan. I'll always be grateful for my time with Destiny 2. It impacted my life more than any piece of media by a long shot, as it has for many others. Grateful it existed and for the journey it took us on. See you, Starside. That's totally true and from the heart. And I also said, incredibly impressive 10-year game, and they delivered on 12 of it. I mean, D2 went for 9, but Destiny 1 dropped 2014. It's now 2026. And I just said, a hell of a journey that I'm grateful to have gotten to experience. I make content now because of this game. Like, it was my passion for this game that made me want to make content on it. And then when my passion and love for the game went away, I still loved making content. I love interacting with my community as well. I wish I had streamed more Destiny, because I started towards the very end of me playing, and I actually really enjoyed it. And now I've been streaming a ton of other games, and I really enjoy just interacting with fans of different games. I just did Bloodborne, but yeah, all these FromSoft games I've had fans come in. Hollow Knight streams, I've had Hollow Knight fans come in, and it's just fun to share a loved experience with other people who love the same thing that you're interacting with. And like I said, I wish I had done that more with Destiny 2. I was so focused on the YouTube side of things and just wanting to make my videos that I thought it'd be a distraction, when really I could have kind of been double dipping and interacting with the community more. I've always had nothing but love for the community. All my hate was always just directed at Bungie and basically how they did abuse the community. How, yeah, Edge of Fate was just retention bait. And even this announcement, I'm honestly so glad it came so that people can stop coping now. And I thought the cope would be done because everyone's saying, oh, Destiny 2. It just sucks that Bungie strung them along. They said there was this content map or whatever back in like September. And every week people are like, oh, where's the new roadmap? Where's the new roadmap? And then you'd get like a small update. Oh, we're pushing the roadmap to whenever. I just didn't like how they were stringing people along, which in my eyes was just to keep up appearances, basically. Make it look like they were going to continue supporting Destiny when the reality was they weren't supporting it and hadn't been supporting it for a long, long time. That was the point of the portal, to keep you on a never-ending treadmill with the littlest content that they would have to put out so that they could just keep milking people. And I called it like it is, and people don't like that. But again, that was always just because I don't like being abused by corporations, and I just have a really in-depth knowledge of Destiny 2 and Bungie. So when people say, oh, well, such and such game does this as well, I have no knowledge of that, right? Like, I'm not an embedded member of any other community like I am Destiny. So I can only speak to how Bungie operates and how Destiny 2 is as a game. And like I said, I did get a lot of hate for that, but now the writing's kind of on the wall. And I'm not saying you have to like apologize or anything. I'm just saying that you do have to come to grips with the fact that everything doesn't last forever, and also that it will be okay. I do want to end this on a positive message. I've been playing countless different games. Let me just pull up my YouTube. Since stopping, like, look at all these games I played. These are all streams. I stream pretty much every game that I'm playing live. This is over 20 games. I mean, we're at like 90 here. We're only at Hollow Knight, which was like last August. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, all these things. Mario Kart World, Clair Obscur. The future is bright for gaming in general. So many people want to say, oh, there's not another game like Destiny, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I get it. Destiny is special and you can keep playing it. But there's tons of special games that I am so grateful that I've got to experience because I've stopped playing Destiny. And I wouldn't have been able to if I didn't move on from it. And trust me, like, it's going to suck at first, but it's okay to move on. Enjoy the June update, but if you don't feel like playing it now, you don't have to feel like you're missing out on something because of the perpetual treadmill that they force you on, right? You can just jump in with your friends at will. Yeah, there's still tons of community discords and whatever. So yeah, just post in there. Oh, somebody want to run a King's Fall? Yeah, I'm down. Like, you can still play the game, but now you can play it on your own terms, which I think is good and healthy, and what I've been doing since leaving Destiny 2. So like I said, I have nothing but love for my time with the game, but I'm also happy with it being over. And yeah, it's just been a fun journey, and I don't really have much else to say. I don't even know what this video is supposed to be. Just kind of talking about the end of Destiny 2, I guess. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, and there will be other fun journeys. And as for me, I'm starting Elden Ring after 007 First Light next week, so probably in June, Elden Ring. So swing by the YouTube, swing by the Twitch at ItSizzle7, and yeah, come hang out, watch me play Elden Ring. And then who knows, maybe there's some other Destiny-like game on the horizon or whatever, right? Like, it was a fun-ass run, and we do have Bungie to thank for giving us that. Like, it was a really special game. That lead-in into Final Shape and the first, like, 10 days of Final Shape till the day 1 raid was done, unforgettable, and something you could only experience kind of if you were in it at the time. It was a moment-in-time type thing. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I don't know what this was, but I do miss my community and stuff too. Always appreciated y'all's support. And yeah, I hope you find other games that bring you half as much joy as Destiny 2 did to all of us. Because like I said, it was a special game, but there are tons of great experiences out there. So I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care.